Tipperary where the devil bites. They say he used to bite in Quarry side, on the dark side of Bright Street, doing better what? The only place I couldn't have mind him biting was in Tip. He hung about the Shirley and he hung about the mill. The only wind he ever blew was seriously ill. He commandeered the mully at the top of Foggy Lee, so that in the copses he could clearly see. Butterfingers, hair, strifey manufactured gloom. If I wasn't paying attention, he would holler in his loom. He wasn't afraid to tempt them, and he wasn't afraid to kill. You sometimes see that bonny lassie up the boggy hill.
So Tipperary, the project itself, was really a vision of Mike Gary's, who has a real passion to highlight the history of Lochee. He knew he wanted to do something that was immersive, interactive, and we also knew that we wanted to do something that was really innovative and sort of forward thinking. As we sort of looked at that and investigated the wider application, we actually met with a couple of the historians. One of the guys had a map of the old Tipperary, and that helped start to form the actual framework in the scenario. It was actually the community in Lochee that helped guide us and steer us in the project. We had some thoughts that there'd be some visuals of Tipperary, but actually there's quite a bit been lost in that period of time. And the map that we had it still didn't give us a full render, but it gave us enough to give to a graphics designer and an animator to actually build what you see now as Tipperary. I think the most important thing that came out of this was the amount of interest and engagement by the community in Lochee.
Well, Tip was built in the mid-18th century and it was to house workers for the mills. A previous tenant of Attle Street, John McNally, drew this map, we'll call it a pen and ink map, and it's quite accurate, you know. And he also included 27 local characters and their nicknames. And he gave it to a friend, Jimmy Blackwood. And Jimmy passed it on to the library and it came into our hands as the local history club. So from that, we started to develop more information. And then Michael Gary came on the scene, and this was the birth of his AR project, Tipperary. Without the map, I don't think it would ever get off the ground. But Michael Gary recognised that this was important. And he got in touch with me and Larry, myself and Larry, and started the project.
I first saw the map when John McNally passed it on to somebody in the library. And to be honest with you, I thought it was great because it's something we'd never ever had before. Unfortunately, John himself wasn't with us anymore by that time, because it would have been good to ask him questions, because he's one of the few people that would be able to answer them. Fortunately, we managed to find 2 or 3 people with memories, and we've built from there.
Very fond memories of Tip, yeah. The map and the game brings it all back to me. Very colourful. I can recognise the stairs, 2 stairs in particular where I was brought up, 10A Athol Street and 24A Athol Street. Well, it's just as I imagined it would be. It's like staying in my own house, you know, just the bunker, just the way the bed's put in the bed recess, and the stairs above your head. You can imagine people running up and down the stairs, going to the attics or garrets as we call them, giving kids in the schools and locally a chance to play that game and bring Tipperary back to life in some kind of fashion. I think it'll be a first class thing.
I'm David Butler. I was born in Tipperary in 1938. Well, it's good to see Tipperary back in the discussions. You know, just my kids and my grandchildren and everything. I've tried to learn them with the books and things like that about Tipperary. I think it's interesting. It's the first time I'd ever seen the game.
Yeah, so we got started with Tipperary 1 or 2 years ago now, and it was when the Floyan team reached out to us and wanted a game developer to come in and help them bring the idea of Tipperary to a playable experience. So starting the project, we needed to get to know what the project was kind of for and what the history of the area was. And Florian helped kind of bring the location to life and the history behind it. From there, we could work with the artist who'd made the 3D model of Tipperary and kind of build it out so that you could actually walk around and explore, and then build it. We built in the story elements to kind of bring that experience to life so you could actually learn as you're playing the game. Being able to go back and kind of revisit this history that's kind of been lost to time was really, really nice, especially when we launched the game. Being able to talk to people who kind of had family who grew up there was really, really nice, and how emotional they got seeing the game and playing it, especially with some of the reviews that we got for the game online as well. It was nice to see people all over the world like saying like, my grandfather was from Tipperary. That was such a nice feeling for the project. A whole bunch of different historians worked on this project, and that was a lot of work that would have gone completely unnoticed, especially by me or definitely the younger generation. But being able to bring it to a new medium like video games has definitely helped bring light on these really, really interesting projects and parts of our history and culture that could completely go overlooked.
If we don't do it, it won't be there. That's the way I saw it, and I've thanked Michael a few times for doing this, but Michael enjoys it as well. He's into it, so everybody that's involved are really 100% into it, which is a great thing.
I feel great. I mean, it's an achievement. I mean, you went from doing just your own family history to doing this project. You never thought you'd be getting filmed or anything like that. You know, I mean, it gave me an incentive to pass the time and spend time and obviously learn more about Lochee.
It has been a bit of a puzzle, but it's also been quite enjoyable to me because I've discovered a lot of stories, a lot of history, and it's led to other projects.
Hopefully other people will pick it up, younger people will pick it up and enjoy it as much as I did.
It's great to be here today to mark the completion of the TIP project. I don't think in-game realised when they awarded the voucher just what emotions would be unleashed in our project, to the extent that if you look at the picture behind me, you could actually see my family. You could see my father and my aunts and my uncles. And it's the same for the streets of Lochee. The people who've been involved in the project have brought such energy and determination. The community group worked tirelessly behind the scenes. They get very little credit. But this project gave them a voice. It would be irrational to say that it's brought self-respect back to the area. But for everybody involved in it, we've all felt good about it, to the point where we've dragged other people into it and made them feel good about it. So it's a catalyst, and we will build on it, and we'll produce new projects that will keep the spirit of Old Lochee alive.
They say drunken Mrs. Kids and the Robin Hood, diving in the bookies when the going got good. Moved in by the butchers up at Hogan's Bend. He could justify his means within a single lane. Suppose the Tipperary where the devil bites. They say he used to bite in Quarry's side, on the dark side of Bright Street, doing better what. The only place that couldn't have mind him biting was in Tip.